I request Dr. Kadir Wali garu to address the gathering. We all know that as introduced, he did his PhD from IISc and postdoc from US. So he's very much experienced. He's changing so many mindsets of so many people to actually come out of these lifestyle diseases like diabetics and hypertension and others. He's actually influencing masses at the grassroots level. So I request Kadar Wali garu to address the gathering.
Good evening to everyone. So it's beautiful to see young people celebrating. Actually, I heard the group is sustainable word. The word sustainable is used, the group they are celebrating. And I'm so happy that young people are talking the right words. Sustainable. Why the word sustainable popped up all at a sudden in the last 5 years is because we are slowly and steadily recognizing the human life, human activities, human civilization is becoming unsustainable. The unsustainability is rising from the way we are living on this planet. In terms of energy, in terms of water, in terms of soil, in terms of air, in terms of temperature, we are breaking the records. We are racing to extinct ourselves. And it's not very far that we cannot have soil where we can make our seeds germinate. So this is the scenario in which we are all in, and young generations are actually not aware of it. It's a matter of 20 years that you cannot produce food. It's a matter of 20 years that you will not have water to drink, half the population. And I can go on and on saying that the situation and the scenario is very, very bad for you, because we are going to pass away in a matter of 5 or 10 years. But the next 20, 30 years is going to be your prime life. You have to live the life. And we have made your life miserable. And you are not aware of it. Because it is not being talked, because it is not being discussed, because it is being suppressed. I hope you are getting the seriousness of the situation. I know you have come here to celebrate millets and Telangana culturals. I agree with that. But then I want you to know why millets are the cause of celebration. Why we have hope for the future generations, and why millets are the only way for the future generations of not only this country, but for the whole human race. What am I talking? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? We are in trouble, and the governments, the institutions, the organizations are all in the stronghold of corporate companies. So they do not want you to know even the dangers that exist in the coming few years. Sadly, the institutions, the governments, the organizations are all working for this corporate culture. Your projects, your programs, everything is decided by the agenda of these corporates. The way you are eating, what you are eating is decided by the corporates, not you. Many people think that they are choosing their food. You are not choosing your food. You are being given 100 choices, that's what you think, but there is no choice. You are either choosing pizza, burger, noodles, biryani, pulao, all are completely artificial foods that you are eating. There is no natural food that people are eating now on this planet, almost everyone. The milk you are drinking is genetically modified. There is no real milk. And why this milk kids have been drinking for the last 20-25 years, and the whole nature of womanhood has changed. Now women are menstruating at the age of 8, 9, which is supposed to be at the age of 14. And this is the incident which changed my perception and my life for good. When I was 27, after finishing my PhD, I went to America, in Portland, Oregon. First day I met a small girl of 6 years old in the reception halls of a big hospital to get her treated. I went there to collect medical certificate to join the institute. So I had to give blood in this department, that department, wait for half an hour, another test. So whole half day to full day it goes off to get the certificate so that I could join. So I was wandering in the reception halls of this big multi-speciality hospital. There I met a small girl of 6 years, her mother sitting in the reception hall. I just asked that mother, what is the problem with the kid? My kid is menstruating. That was shock of my life. It was like throwing 10 atomic bombs on my head. 6-year-old girl menstruating. And no one bothered. No one bothered. I asked, why did she menstruate at the age of 6? She said, I don't know. Then I went into the doctor's room who I was supposed to meet. And I asked the doctor, why this girl is menstruating at the age of 6? No, she is a little early. Many girls here are menstruating at the age of 9. That's what he answered. So it was a bigger shock for me. That means the whole America, in 1987, the girls were menstruating at the age of 8, 9, 6. There was no explanation. So it changed my life. How can this be? Where I come from, India, in 1987, the girls were menstruating at the age of 15 or 14. So 8 years gap. That means there is something seriously wrong in this particular part of the place of this world. Then I started inquiring. Just in 3 days, I could crack. The reason was they were making the girls and the boys, small boys, drink this GMO milk, genetically modified milk. There was no cow in America. There was no cow. They actually took cows from India and changed its characteristics and made a cow give 25 liters, 30 liters, and then they had all the preservatives and packaged in plastic sachets and started feeding their babies. That's because of their societal pressures on women. Women have to get back to work. So after giving birth, they didn't have time to keep feeding their babies like we do in India. 7 months to 9 months, baby is fed. After that, slowly and steadily, the food is introduced to the babies. That luxury they didn't have. So they started these things. And then, lo and behold, in a matter of 5 years, all the girls started menstruating early. The reason is as simple as the steroid-fed animals are leaving residues in the milk, and the hormonal imbalance caused this problem. And no one was worried. No one was worried. Even you guys are not worried. The girls were not worried. The boys are not worried. In fact, what happened to boys? This is obvious for girls, but for boys, till they married and found out that they didn't have sperms to produce babies. The same hormonal imbalance hit the boys in the testes. And that resulted in loss of hair for boys. 20, 25 years of age, the boys became baldies. In fact, The bald heads used to appear at the age of 60 or 50, but now we have 18 bald heads out of 100 below the age of 30. Can you believe this? This has happened not because God did this. It is because we are doing it. On top of it, the eggs were produced genetically modified. The meat is produced genetically modified. Chickens, pigs, cows. So they started feeding these artificial food and hormonal imbalance happened. The steroids and antibiotics went into your tummy and they started killing the gut microbes, and you started having microbial imbalance. Many more diseases started. And on top of it, they started eating rice and wheat, which produces glucose into your blood very fast, and glucose imbalance happened. So these three main important reasons, glucose imbalance, microbial imbalance, and hormonal imbalance, are the basis for all the diseases now the human race is facing, nothing else. So when I first met that baby in America in 1987, this is the most important turning point in my life. I said, the so-called developed countries are the most unscientific food pattern they are eating, and they are creating these diseases. And slowly and steadily, when you have changed this many parameters in the human body, the body started reacting what are called autoimmune diseases. That is, people started having allergies for nothing, for no reason. Simple breeze of air started allergies. Simple pressure, someone touches you, you started having boils all over the body. So these kind of autoimmune diseases slowly and steadily evolved into very serious rheumatism, arthritis, many other diseases. So all of a sudden it became very clear to me that what are these doctors doing? Doctors are saying you have this problem, that problem, this technology, that technology, but no one is cured. No one is getting cured because we are eating wrong food. So the solution lied in figuring out what is the right food. So I started searching to define what is right food. So what is right food then? When we eat rice, we are releasing glucose very fast into our bloodstream. And the whole purpose of digestive canal is to release glucose slowly and steadily. Slowly and steadily. If you release like flood, the excess glucose starts absorbing water and creating dryness in all the other living cells. And that's how you start feeling thirsty. You go and drink more water. That puts pressure on your kidneys. You go to the toilet. The sugar is not going. It is in the blood. So you drink water, go to the toilet. Drink water, go to the toilet. And that, the doctor said, you have sugar problem. You see who created this problem? It's because we are eating rice and wheat slowly and steadily. Huge number of diabetic patients started appearing. In the last 20-30 years, now each and every state is claiming that they are the capital of diabetics. It's so much so that young people below age of 30, now 7 people are diabetic. 7 people out of 100 below age of 30 are becoming diabetic. And sadly, we have created a situation where 6 boys below age of 10 are also becoming diabetic, called juvenile diabetes. And another important problem is when women are conceiving babies, there is another kind of diabetes called gestational diabetes. So out of 100 pregnancies, 58 pregnancies are showing up as gestational diabetic patients. And out of 58, half of them continue to be diabetic patients throughout their lives. So huge glucose imbalance is created by our food, and no doctor, no biochemist, no scientist, no universities are talking about it. Because simple reason is the production of rice, the production of wheat, the production of eggs, the production of milk, the production of this food is completely controlled by these big corporate companies through pesticide companies, fertilizer companies. All this artificial food culture is the main source of diseases. Are you getting the message? That means out of 100 kids you hear in the next 5 years, 8% of you are going to be diabetic, guaranteed. What can be done? Can we do something? No, we have multi-specialty hospitals. We will go and take tablets. How long will you take this tablet? In 1954, these companies have made a law called Wonder Drug Act. They have listed few diseases. These cannot be cured. If someone says they are curing, they are lying. So he is liable to be in the jail. So in 1954 itself, they have added this law saying that diabetes is incurable. If someone says it is curable, he is lying. There is no wonder drug to cure diabetes. This is the law made in 1954. 1954, there was no word called diabetes. No one knew diabetes. Very, very rare. Out of 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 lakh, one person was diabetic. So this is the kind of planning these corporate companies have done, and by then every 10 years the diabetic patients increased. With that, we have had explosion of diseases, and slowly and steadily by 1990s cancer came into existence because of these chemicals, because of this protein residues, the DNA itself getting affected. So the carcinogenicity started appearing in large numbers. In fact, now wherever these chemicals are used in large quantities, like Punjab and Raichur, wherever the pesticides, fertilizers are used in large quantities, cancer patients are now 30 to 40% of people. So these are the kinds of dangers that we have been inviting, and no discussion on these issues is present in the public consciousness. So we have been actually cooking up diseases, making people sick, and creating demand for these tablets, operations, and all this medical paraphernalia. In fact, all these diseases can just vanish away like this. Can we make these diseases vanish away like this? We can, when we eat the right food, when create the glucose imbalance has to be removed, microbial balance has to be brought back into our guts, and hormonal balance have to be sought. These are the three issues that can be answered by us choosing the millets. We did this experiment. We took this diseased people and started feeding these 5 grains which have got high fiber content. Foxtail millet 8%, kodo millet 9%, little millet 9.8%, barnyard millet 10%, brown top millet 12.5%. When the carbohydrate is interlinked with the fiber, the release of glucose into your blood is slow and steady. That's how human blood glucose balance can be restored in the whole human population. So you stop eating rice, you stop eating wheat, you stop eating sugar, you can almost wipe out 90% of all the diseases that doctors are talking about today. Can you believe this? When I make a statement that we can wipe out all the diseases, if you make the shift of your food from rice, wheat, sugar to millets. The millets are the answer for almost all of our diseases. Almost all of our diseases. We found, including carcinogenicity, can be reversed when we eat these millets because of the lignans, fiber presented in these grains can actually clean up your carcinogenicity in a matter of 6 months to 2 years. We have had wonderful results feeding these grains to a lot of cancer patients and they becoming completely all right in a matter of 2 years. Are you not excited about this? Are you aware that most of you are going to be sick in a matter of 5 to 10 years? If you continue to eat the way you are eating. This is the reason why I have been visiting every nook and corner of our country trying to sensitize people that there is alternative local foods that can save you from becoming sick and in fact that can heal the whole human race out of these so-called modern day diseases. Diabetes, you cannot cure. Thyroid, you cannot cure. BP, you cannot cure. HIV, you cannot cure. Cancer, you cannot cure. Rheumatism, you cannot cure. Arthritis, you cannot cure. You can manage. We are having tablet after tablet. This is the present scenario. That means if you are sick, you are going to be sick for your lifetime. Is that what we want? Is that what we want for our younger generation? Is that what you are all inviting? Are you ready to at least analyze the problem? Are you ready to listen to the millet story? Are you ready? We have done these experiments. We have been choosing various kinds of sick people and trying to feed this millet food, and we have been collecting excellent results. So we created handbooks, what to eat, what not to eat, how not to eat. All these experiments have been done. We have created PDFs, and these PDFs have been translated into almost 10 languages right now, and they are in circulation. And you kids, if you want, we have provided to Venkatesh sir. He will be able to hand over to you through your smartphones. You can have a look at it. You decide. It is the problem created by us, by our generation. You have to decide. You have to choose your health. You want to be healthy or not healthy? Do you want to be healthy or not healthy? Are you sure you want to be healthy? If you want to be healthy, there is only one option now for human race left. That is to stop eating rice, stop eating wheat, stop taking milk. Of course, coffee and tea are included in that. You need to embrace the natural food materials that our ancestors were eating. And we have found by experiment, scientifically proven that this can reverse all these diseases that we have created in the last 30, 40 years, and we can bring back health to human body. All these experiments have been done in the public domain, and we have been receiving enormous amount of good results from all the people who have started switching over to millets from these corporate food factory processed materials that are going to create ill health in your body. So you are taking egg, it is factory made. You are taking sugar, it is factory food that you are eating. Processed foods with all chemicals is the reason why you are all becoming sick. Otherwise, there is no reason for you to be sick. Absolutely zero reason. We are all endowed with health if we follow nature. Same time, with the same breath, I can tell you that if you are using 1 year rice, there is this much amount of water is required. To produce 1 kilo of rice, you need 8,000 liters of water. So, in a year, if you eat 200 kilos, the amount of water required, 200 into 8,000 liters, that much water if you give me, I can produce 30 years of millets. So now everyone is saying save water, save river, save. How do you save? If you continue to eat rice, you are actually wasting 30 years of existence. You see, that is the environmental equation in terms of water alone. And by using rice for 10 years, the agricultural soils are all getting barren. That means if you grow rice for 10 years with the present day methods, you are going to create deserts. And that's what is happening in the last 25 years. India has accumulated 23% of desert land. That means if you sow a seed, the seed will not germinate in that land. And this is the result of, direct result of you eating rice, you eating wheat, you eating sugar, nothing else. So now if you people talk, save the soil. How can you save the soil? By not eating rice, by not eating wheat, by not eating sugar. And there is no other solution to this. You continue to eat rice, wheat and sugar and say, I will save soil, I will save water, I will save global warming. You are talking absolute nonsense. We have figured out our ancestors practicing this food culture were doing the job of scientifically integrated living with nature. That's how nature was conserved. It is through conservative methods you can have sustainable living. There is no way you can say, I will create a technology where I am going to become green. That is only going to be putting a dot, green dot, and say that I am creating green technology. Nothing else. So all your technologies, if they are consuming, you cannot be conserving. So the technologies have to embrace the essence of nature, that is zero waste. Zero waste technologies are the only technologies that can be green, nothing else. And that definition is met by millets and millets only. So all all these fundamental theoretical aspects that you can deal with, we have a practical solution. So, next generations can survive on this planet only if change our food. Change your food, change the life on this planet. You continue to eat the same way that you are eating, you are going to be the cause of destructing the life forms, not only yourself, but all the other forms of life on this planet. There are no two things about this statement. You may think I am very extreme. We already have wasted time. In the last 25 years, we should have begun the journey. We are already 25 years late. I want this young generation to understand the seriousness of the issue that we are living with. And the elder generations are not giving you the right picture. This is a very serious problem we have created, and the problem is yours, not ours. I'll give you one small example. A couple walked into my clinic. My son is studying in Hyderabad University. This is a real story. This is a real story. This is a real story. My son actually has started drinking beer regularly. 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Now he is slowly getting addicted. What can we do? Then I said, you should close down the beer shops. Is that not the solution? Who is selling beer? Are the young people selling beer? Who is selling beer? It is the generation above 45 who has these shops. Am I right? This is a good example. You all should understand this example. It's a very serious example. You are drinking beer. Who is making money? Who is making money? Who is making money? Who is losing health? It's you, not we. You are drinking beer, you are losing your health, but who is making money? Government is party to it. They are party to it. So you understand the problem? Do you understand the problem? Are you getting this message? Your high time you opened your eyes. The solution is ready. Are you ready to change? Thank you.